Welcome back to the Whatnauts Captain's Log number 261. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how's it going?
Hello. It's going well. We never start out the episode with the actual intro. Normally you have a silly question or something.
Yeah.
But we have business to conduct tonight.
Absolutely.
So let's get to it.
The Huns have invaded. They are here right now. We need to get down to business. It's Rotten Tomatoes movie prediction game night. Woo!
Our longest, most cumbersome game.
Yeah. Maybe our most boring one, too. But it's fun for us. You know, I don't know. Whatever. Rotten Tomatoes movie predictions. Yeah, I really enjoy this one. As you guys can probably tell, my voice is a little congested. Like I mentioned last week on the show, I got sick. And I got a lot worse after last week's podcast. And I am still trying to recover. I have the black lung. So, yeah, that's me. So hopefully if I need to cough or something, I can mute my mic and you guys won't have to be a victim of all of that. But
victim of hearing a cough.
Yeah. You guys can hear me like raise a small bit there, but no coughing.
He's a little sick boy. Yeah,
I'm a little sick. Well, boy, hopefully, Melissa, your week was a lot better, though.
I've been doing fine. I've gone to several movies. I will go to several more.
Good. You also had all the time to put together our list for 2024, all the movies that we're going to predict their Rotten Tomato scores of. You
added the dates, which I didn't ask you to do, so thank you.
I sure did. Yes, I did that this afternoon. So the first thing we should do is actually look back at the stuff we predicted last year.
Well, let's explain the game for the folks if they've never listened to this before. This is an episode we do the first week of every December where we predict the Rotten Tomatoes critic score for a list of 20 to 30 something movies coming out over the next year, December through December.
Yeah.
And we reconvene. Plus, we make some bonus predictions like this is the twist in this movie. This will make more money than this one or have a greater score than the previous movie in the franchise, etc. And we come back, see whose score was closer, either direction, higher or lower, just closer. Winner gets a pizza.
Yeah, I think I still owe you a pizza from trivia night.
Most pizzas are abstract, but I think with this being a tomato-based game, this is the one that really counts. Yeah. The pizza must be paid out for this game and specifically. Yeah, it's up to you if you want to give it out for any other game we play throughout the year. So tonight we will be reviewing scores from late 2022 to 2023. That is Avatar: The Way of Water through Napoleon. And tonight we will be predicting scores for The Boy and the Heron through Wicked Part 1. We added a lot of stuff to the list. This is our longest list yet for 2024, even though it is a year that will be plagued with holes in the release calendar after the strikes and various other delays. Mm-hmm. But that just means we have to dive deeper. And we did.
We sure did. So let me bring this up on screen. Here's our little document that we got going on here. You can see all of our scores here. Here's all of mine. Here's all Melissa's right there. So yeah, let's get down to business here because these will end up taking quite a while. So let me see. How do I want to do this? Do I want to put this over here?
If you look them up, I'll write them down.
Okay. Sounds good, which means I will put this back over here so everyone on screen can see what the score is as well. when I look it up. So, Melissa, if you would so kindly announce the movies as we get to them.
Okay.
I know what's up first here.
First on our list, Avatar, The Way of Water. You guessed 74 and I guessed 86.
The Way of Water. Here we go. All right. Tomato meter says 76.
Oh! Point for Kyle. We'll color code these.
There you go. There you go.
Coming up next is M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin. You said 46. I said 62.
Point to you, Melissa. Tomato meter says 67.
Lovely.
With an audience score of 63. So you were even closer on that one.
Next, Ant-Man and the Wasp in Quantumania, a movie where you guessed 72 and I guessed 88 because I had heard good things about it. This was quite a hyped movie before it arrived.
Tomato meter says 46.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a 46.
It was pretty critically panned. Yeah.
Ugh.
The audience score is 82, which I feel like that's high. Each one is harsh in its own direction, right? It's not that good, but it's not that bad. It's still bad, but it's not that bad. It's not 46 bad.
Right. Next is Cocaine Bear. Very curious to see how this shakes out. You guessed 69. I guessed 58.
Cocaine Bear. Oh, wait, that's not the right one. That's the documentary. No, I don't want to disable my ad blocker.
It's a different Cocaine Bear. Sorry.
Cocaine Bear, the true story. Here it is. Cocaine Bear. Tomato meter 66.
Oh, nice.
Final enable ads.
You are doing well so far.
Main. How do I refresh?
Next, Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Okay, I have to deal with this stupid enable ads. Yeah, how do I do that? Click the ad box, plug it in the extension bar. It's not letting me do this. Is that? No, that's not it. In my extension bar.
We were doing so well until this point. We were so efficient.
I guess my extension should be all of this stuff. I don't want to show this on screen. Let me see here. Let's see, extensions, ad block. Can I turn that off for a sec? Yeah, there we go. Now refresh it once more. Hopefully that worked. Okay, I think we should be good to go for the rest of this. So next up is Shazam, you said?
Yes, you guessed 86 and I guessed 89. So we felt like the first Shazam had been pretty well received.
Tomato meter says 49.
I also feel like that's lower than I thought. It's a very silly movie, but it is a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is worse than this one.
I think so.
Yeah. But that's also not saying much about this one either.
I will be curious to see how the superhero movies in particular shake out at the end of this list. Next up, not exactly a superhero, John Wick 4. You guessed 94 and I guessed 93.
Let's see. Tomato meter says 94.
Oh my God. You don't get a bonus point for being right on the money, but I'm happy you were.
The audience score is 93. So it's up there. Real highly rated.
That was a great time.
Yeah, that was.
Next, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Did you see this one?
I still have not seen this one.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You guessed 56 and I guessed 84.
Wow. Point to you because 91 is the tomato meter. Yeah.
Oh, also, I'm so happy for it.
Highly rated.
Oh.
I've heard nothing but good things with that. So on my list of things to go back and watch.
Next, the Super Mario Brothers movie. This is one you saw, but I didn't. You guessed 77 and I guessed 68.
It's going to end up... Oh, I was about to say it's going to end up being more than that, but the tomato meter says 59.
Huh.
I don't think it was that bad. It is nowhere near that bad.
The
audience score is 95.
That's what I've heard, is that it's just... There's nothing real special about it, but it's fun and it looks very good.
Yeah, it looks incredible. They made a Super Mario Bros. Movie. Like, they completed the assignment.
It seems like they did. 100% saturated Mario Brothers.
Apparently, it's now streaming on Peacock, so...
I have Peacock right now. I'm trying to watch The Continental. I'm not super into it yet, but it's only 3 episodes, so I might just finish it for the sake of it. So watch Super Mario and his brother while I'm there. Next, Renfield. Ooh. You said 86 and I said 77. And I remember I picked that number because it looked like 2 fangs.
The tomato meter is a 58.
Huh. Point to me. Renfield was fun. I'm less certain in its fun than I have been about other movies so far on this list. It's worth a watch. Next, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We both went big on this one. You said 93 and I said 96. I think this was the highest score I gave out in any of my predictions.
Tomato meter says 82.
Oh. Huh.
Audience score was 94.
Okay.
So still did really, really good, but not to the critics.
How Fast 10. You guessed 45 and I guessed 81. I'm certain you're going to win this one.
Excuse me. Tomato meter says 56.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, that was an interesting one for sure.
It's fun. I don't think there's any movie I saw this year where I did not have fun of some kind. Next is The Little Mermaid. Did you see this one? I still haven't. You guessed 79 and I guessed 72.
The answer is 67, according to the tomato meter.
Point for me. I'm not far off. Next, certainly probably one of the highest movies we're going to have on the list, Across the Spider-Verse. You guessed 93 and I guessed 92.
Oh, come on. The Spider.
I know that's a long title. That's a lot to type.
I was hoping just by typing in across, it would be like the first one that pops up, and it was not. Tomato meter is 95 with an audience score of 94. Let's see where we're at. There we go. Okay. I think I'm in the lead so far. That's fun. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Let's see how we did with Elemental. You guessed 82. I guessed 90. Seems like this is another win for you.
Elemental. Let's see what the number is. It is 74.
That's higher than I thought based on what I've heard about Elemental.
Interesting.
But I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I liked it just fine. I don't know if I have anything special to say besides the new art styles that they're trying to play with and stuff. Just looks fantastic.
Next is The Flash, where you guessed 70 and I guessed 82.
Let's see here. Tomato meter says 63.
Okay. I think that's fair. Yeah. 63. Oh, that point goes to you. Why are we... So you're like a mustard yellow and I'm like a ketchup red. And I keep forgetting these are our colors because there's nothing else about you that says yellow. I don't know why you're not purple on this spreadsheet.
Who knows?
Next, Indiana Jones 5 and the Dial of Destiny. You guessed 70. I guessed 94. I had heard very strong things about this coming out of early trailer footage. And I saw this movie. I brought my mom with me. And I think both of us were just like, yeah, that was him. And then my dad watched it this week, now that it's on Disney Plus. And I asked him what he thought. And he's like, yeah, that's Indiana Jones. He's got his hat. he's like in a tomb somewhere. I don't know. What do we want?
Tomato meter is 69.
Oh, nice. Sexual.
What a way to go.
Very
out,
close
Indy.
to you. He did not go out on top, but he went out side by side.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, as it was credited upon release. I have heard that they're going to drop the Part 1 and what would have been Part 2 is just going to be straight up Mission Impossible 8 with its own new subtitle.
I've heard that,
but I haven't heard what that
heard
subtitle is
confirmed yet.
You said 94 and I said 95.
96 is the tomato meter.
Wonderful. I'm very happy to hear that. This is really one of my top films of the year.
This was a good one indeed.
How about The Juggernaut? We got back to back here. I don't know why we didn't put them alphabetically. We have Oppenheimer listed first. You guessed 88 for Oppenheimer and I guessed 86. Wow.
We both
why were we so mild on Oppenheimer?
Right? 93.
Okay, that is a point for Kyle. Right, next Barbie, where you guessed 56 and I guessed 83.
Wow, that is definitely a movie point to you.
It seemed hard to pin down from that early teaser footage.
88 was the tomato meter score. Yeah, I had a feeling that this was going to maybe not play well to certain audiences. And obviously it did not to all the ones who were like, well, this isn't about men. But this one was fantastic. I had no idea what was wrong with me when I was like 50 something. Oh no.
Next is a wild card. This is Venture Brothers. Radiant is the blood of the baboon heart. This was a movie tying up our beloved Adult Swim series. This released directly to video on demand and Blu-ray and is streaming on Max. We weren't quite sure. This is a 7-season show that is very dense and very specific, but also very consistent. So we're like, who's going to review this movie? What will they find of it? You guessed an 81 and I guessed a 7.
There were 12 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes here as of right now.
Thank you to those 12 folks. You guessed 81. I guessed 78. What was the score?
The score was 92.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Proud of my boys.
For fans of the genre. They loved it.
Oh,
they loved it.
We've got a title here that was moved. Do you want to talk about it now, or do you want to put these back in a chronological order?
Let's put these back in. Well, was it moved to a later time in the year? What was it? The Marvels. Yes. Yeah. When did it actually come out? What was the release date?
Oh, like November 10th, I think. It's gonna go in here before that Hunger Games movie.
Sure. Let's say that's November 10th. Then.
Okay.
And we'll get back to the Marvels in a little bit here.
So our next movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. I still have to see it. I look forward to it. I'm waiting for a night when my roommate is home because she has more nostalgia for this thing than I do. We're going to have like a whole big pizza night. So I'm just waiting on that.
Come on.
You, again, a lot of words to type. You guessed 83 and I guessed 86.
Teenage Mutant. God, their search is terrible. So can you repeat the scores once again?
You said 83 and I said 86.
Man, you get the point on that one. 96
Excellent.
is the score on that one. Yeah, that movie was incredible. I love
Happy to hear it.
Yeah. One of my favorites of the entire year. So good.
Nice. Next is Haunted Mansion, based on the Disney ride. You guessed 74 and I guessed 79.
And the tomato meter is 37.
I don't think it's a 37. It's
wow.
It's
37.
It's more than a Quantumania, but less than a Shazam Fury of the Gods. That's probably where he'd put Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, I don't know. It's around that area. I feel like. I don't know. It was fine, I guess.
I am always grateful when I watch a movie and I'm like, it was fine. I accept fine. Fine is not an insult to me.
The audience
fine is just fine.
Was 84 though.
Huh. I heard people had fun with it.
Yeah.
It's packed with a lot of Easter eggs. You can search out. Danny DeVito wears a little clear plastic raincoat to a hibachi while they throw shrimp in his mouth. That's worth it.
Yep.
Next is Blue Beetle, where you guessed 76 and I guessed 71. I've been happy to see this consistently at the #1 movie on Max spot for like the last couple weeks. I'm happy people are watching Blue Beetle.
It was a pretty good one. The tomato meter says 78. An audience score of 91.
Nice. 0.2 Kyle.
Yeah, that one was good. Go check it out if you haven't yet.
We've got a couple movies on this list that are getting punted into the next time. Poor Things was originally supposed to come out September 8th. It's getting a limited release this weekend. It's unfortunately not playing in my city until the wider release on the 22nd. And then I got the notification saying tickets are on sale, and it's only playing in like the most obscure 2-screen like art house theater in my city.
Yeah.
Not even the more familiar small art house theater that I have been to a couple times this year. This is really, why only this one? For a movie I have seen so much promotion for this year. I've seen so many trailers for Poor Things, the posters all over the place. What I've seen for this movie seems in opposition to how small of a window of release it's getting. So I'm real puzzled. But
interesting.
We're punting our predictions for Poor Things, as well as Kraven the Hunter and Dune 2. Those are all null for this particular list.
Dune 2, Electric Boogaloo.
So our next movie is The Creator. Sci-fi epic The Creator, where you guessed an 88 and I guessed a 53.
Wow, a 66? Hell no. That they are absolutely wrong. This one was great. I loved it.
I actually have to I can't think of which of those numbers is higher. It's me. 66. Do I win?
Let's see. To 53 would be
13 points.
And then from 66 to would be 22, right?
Okay, so I win.
I
should have been able to do that math in my head, but I could not. No robot am I.
Yeah, neither am I. I went to art school, so I'm completely useless.
Next, A Haunting in Venice. You guessed 68. I guessed 61.
$76, according to the tomato meter.
Lovely.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was
Haunting in Venice.
That was solid. I was happy people enjoyed that one. I hope we get to see another.
Me too.
Next, another massive epic, 3+ hours. It's Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, where you guessed 90 and I guessed 94.
90 and 94. Let's see what the tomato meter says. It says 93.
I have been following every awards show so far this year on the run up to the Oscars. I'm not just going to tune into the Oscars or the Golden Globes or whatever. Like, I am frantically updating my phone, searching for like the New York Film Critics Circle.
Yeah.
I watched the live stream of the Gotham Awards last week. I am in the awards race right now, seeing how many points I can get for my movie fantasy draft. Killers of the Flower Moon doing very well. Lily Gladstone really seems like the front runner for Best Actress. She's picking up all the precursors so far. Next, we are at last brought to The Marvels, which was moved from July 28th to November 10th, we think. You guessed 66 and I guessed an 85.
61 on the tomato meter.
Point for you.
Yeah. This is one of those ones where it's like, I want to say that's a little bit low, but I understand where a number of the critics are coming from, but also it was just pure fun. It was so good. It was so much fun.
It's silly, but it's good at being silly, I think.
Yeah. Only the next villain had more to do.
Next is The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Neither of us have any context for The Hunger Games. Yeah, this one we threw in on a lark. I think for this upcoming year, we didn't do that so much. We're not throwing in sequels to franchises we don't know. But for this one, we're like, why the heck not? And you guessed a 74 and I guessed a 75.
Point to me because 64 on the tomato meter.
I've heard this is pretty solid, actually.
The audience score is 89. So
yeah,
people seem to like it. I mean, that's the thing. If they are still trying to squeeze this franchise for all of the money they can, yeah, I mean, I guess they would make prequels and spin-offs and all sorts of stuff.
I think it is based off an existing book. I remember seeing the prequel book in stores. And maybe this is something people were clamoring for. You know, maybe they were not squeezing money out of it. Maybe the fans were like, can we squeeze a movie out of you, please? Give us the movie. And they're like, all right. And the audience is like, yes, 89%. Thank you.
Who knows?
Finally, we have Finally, we have Ridley Scott's Napoleon. Did you see this one?
I have not.
I went out last week and saw it in the Alamo Drafthouse's big screen. Because I'm like, we're about to get a Godzilla movie and a Beyonce concert film. They're going to kick Napoleon right out of the big screen. So I'd better see it while it's there.
Yeah.
You guessed a 76 and I guessed a 90. And I'm imagining scores maybe a little closer to yours. Tell me what they were.
59%. With an audience score of 58.
We're all in agreement. A consensus is reached.
Well,
this
Napoleon,
is a movie.
You came up short.
Like I told you last week, it's part war movie and part romantic drama and part weird horny noises. Just Academy Award winner Joaquin Phoenix just making weird simpering noises at Vanessa Kirby. And that's why you see the movie. You see it for that part. And unfortunately, there's just not that much of it.
Interesting.
I think you walked away with this one. I have 11 scores that I got right.
13. Oh man, I lost. I think. Can I zoom out a little bit here so I can
You got
see
more
them
than
all?
11.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I dominated this one.
Let's take a look at our bonus predictions. I don't think this will close the gap at all. One of your predictions was that the biggest discrepancy between audience score and critic score, I think that's what you meant by just writing down biggest discrepancy. You said that was going to belong to Indiana Jones 5.
Let me see what that one was again. Let me go back there. Indiana Jones. That was only a 69 to an 88. So I'm going to say I failed that one.
We'd have to do... See, the problem with you writing this down is that you have to do the math on every one of these movies.
Yeah.
You can go out and do the math, but if you want to call it now that you failed, sure.
I'm pretty sure I failed that one. I'm even looking at stuff like Shazam or Quantumania. Like I feel like
those had big gaps.
Gap in that, was like the audience liked it fairly fine, but critics hated it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Haunted Mansion with like a 37. It's
our lowest rated movie out of the entire year, which that had to go to somebody.
Yeah.
I guess out of everything I saw, maybe I would make it that movie, but 37 still feels mean. And our highest rated movie of the year, that was a tie between TMNT Mutant Mayhem and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, both with 96.
Yeah.
What a pair of movies to be in that echelon. Those are closely followed by Spider-Verse with 95 and John Wick 4 with 94.
Yeah. Hold that thought. I want to look up what Nimona got.
Oh.
Nimona. Here we go.
We didn't have that on the list.
This is one that did not make our list. I don't think I did not know it was coming out this year. It's one that I knew was being made and then just kind of fell off the face of the earth because it was in production hell for a while. This got a 95 on the tomato meter.
That's good.
With an audience score of 91. This is also one of my favorite movies of the year. Some great stuff. So go check out Nimona. Shout out to that one.
Thank you for pulling that one in.
Make our list there. Yeah.
Looking at the rest of your predictions, you're going to have to tell me, was there a Luigi's Mansion reference in the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Not really. No.
Okay.
There is one where he goes into like a scary castle and he shuts the door behind him as some dry bones are chasing him, but that's kind of it. And that's not really a Luigi's Mansion thing. So
you guessed that Rami Malek would be playing an antagonist in Oppenheimer. Instead, he played quiet hero with clipboard.
Yep.
You guessed that Blue Marvel would be in the Marvels. We got
Nope.
We got a Blue Marvel. Emphasis on the word blue there, but
Blue Marvel guy.
Not Dr. Bashir.
Yeah.
Did you actually see Knock at the Cabin?
Nope, I did not.
Okay. You guessed that the twist of the movie was going to be two zaddies have to decide who to kill of the two of them, which is partially right. When Dave Bautista and his murder friends go there and knock at the cabin, what they're saying is to these two zaddies and their little girl, you mutually have to decide which of the three of you needs to die. Like the little girl is not removed from the equation. Of course, nobody would kill her, but that's not in the rules of what Dave Bautista is saying. So what you'd get like half a point for that.
I'll take that.
Okay, I will make this a soft yellow to indicate that you have half of a point. And then you guessed that Across the Spider-Verse will introduce Morlin.
Wrong.
Did not. Okay.
No, did not.
My guesses were every year I predict a needle drop, a song that could be in any of the movies this year. I did not see every single movie this year, but I don't think Like a Prayer by Madonna showed up in any of them. I do want to say that a couple years ago, my needle drop of the year prediction was Maneater by Hall & Oates. And this year it did make a tremendous appearance in the romantic comedy No Hard Feelings.
There you go. Okay, good.
Which is a very fun movie. I recommend No Hard Feelings. And it takes that song and it uses it a couple times in this interesting, evolving way.
Huh.
They really put that song to work. Excellent use of it. I guess that the top three scorers would be Guardians, Indy, and Mission Impossible in any order. Mission Impossible tied Guardians, that got a... Oh, I lost it. An 82. And Indy was down there. So I'll get a vague shade of a point for Mission Impossible getting so high. I guess that Spider-Verse would have a voice cameo from a live-action Spider-Man alum. We had a voice cameo and a visual cameo. Like Donald Glover is in there and you see him as Donald Glover. So this is another half point by being too timid. I guess that Mission Impossible would have some sort of futuristic travel, which I guess it really doesn't.
Yeah.
There's no like maglev trains or anything really fancy in there. This is what I want to talk to you about. One of my predictions for the great mustache. We did not know when I made that prediction that we were going to get a Poirot movie this year. He's the greatest mustache of them all.
You nailed this one though.
This
wild mustache.
This movie is not on our list, but Poirot aside, and Mario and Luigi, them too, sure. My mustache of the year goes to Taron Egerton in Tetris.
Okay. Interesting.
I think that's a great mustache and he wears it well. My guess at the twist for Knock at the Cabin was that there was going to be something important about the cabin. Like there was a secret in there. It was built on a sacred site or something like that. And that didn't really end up being the case. Again, to tell you a little bit about the movie, I don't think this is as much as a spoiler, but Dave Bautista and his murder friends, they've been seeing visions of this place and this time that they have to go to. So it's like destined for them that they go here. But I don't think they're like they place any importance on the cabin itself, no more than anything else.
They're just drawn to the location, but the location itself is not important.
Right. It could be that they've been. It could be anything
called. Yeah.
If that family just set down a picnic blanket, they would have shown up anyway, I guess, cabin or not. And then finally, I guess that Haunted Mansion would have a reference to SEA, the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, which is part of like Disney park Imagineering lore. Not really.
I was
nothing of major note.
I can't remember if there was one to that or not. I don't know. But.
So, at the end of the day, I owe you a pizza for a game well played.
Yahoo! Pizza, pizza, me. Pizza, pizza, me. Awesome.
Do you want to do... Yeah, you want to do a housekeeping break and then we come back to predict like 40 movies for next year?
Yeah, it's going to be great. Yes, we will be right back. We're going to do some housekeeping, and when we come back, like Melissa just said, more movies!
Here at the Whatnauts, we make multiple different shows, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. If you enjoy our shows, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is the best place to show your support. For just $1 a month, you can get early access to episodes, and at our $3 tier, a Patreon-exclusive podcast, The Pilots Club. You can even get a shout-out and thank you on most of our shows at the $5 tier. And if you're one of our patrons already, thank you so much, it means the world to us. You can find out more information on our website, thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in The Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. You can also find us on YouTube and Twitch for video versions of the shows, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a hoodie or a mug or something else, head over to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today.
All right, we are back. Once again, a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We love you a lot.
Thank you.
It means a ton. Thank you. Over on the Pilots Club, Melissa, you and I just recorded an episode on Unicorn Warriors Eternal. This is Genndy Tartakovsky's newest cartoon. It's on Adult Swim. You guys can go watch it on Max. There's only one season out right now, but we only talked about the first 2 episodes because it's a 2-part pilot, which begged, I think, an interesting question of, should a pilot be 2 episodes? Does it need to be? Should it be? I don't know. Something to think about, though. But yeah, that cartoon is very neat, has all kinds of different art styles and character designs from just influences from like old manga and old cartoons and Disney and newer stuff and Tartakovsky's older cartoons, all kinds of stuff. If you're an animation nerd, go check it out. Right here on the Captain's Log, last time we got to talking about my time trying to explain Marvel's Hit Monkey to Melissa. Melissa then trying to explain Saltburn to me. And then Yuki Tsunoda's Fast and Furious Day in Formula One. We had a blast. So go check that out. Just a heads up that next week will be the final episode of the Captain's Log for this calendar year. And then after that, we will have our very own Whatnauts Grand Prix, our end of the year celebration, where we will look back at all of the things we have done and we've read and watched over on the review show, and we'll give out some awards, and I'll probably be drinking if I'm not coughing my lungs up still, and
I'm gonna be pre-gaming for Wonka.
Hell yeah. It's going to be great. Melissa's just going to be chugging all the nerds that she kicked in. It's going to be great.
I'm going to just leave a nerd's rope inside a bottle of vodka for a week and then see what that does.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have a blast with all of that. So be on the lookout. Over on the review show, Melissa, you and I also just got to record our episode on The Mask. You gave me, in honor of Christmas, you said, hey, pick red or pick green. And I said, go with green. And you said, sweet. You know that Jim Carrey movie where he's green? We're doing the other one, The Mask.
Not the Christmas one.
Yeah, not the Christmas one. But we had a blast talking about that. So that should be up very, very soon. And yeah, Reactor Core, kind of not much of late. I've been sick. I didn't get to go see Godzilla. I probably would have wanted to be like, let's do a thing on Godzilla. But haven't gone out to see it yet since I'm sick. I guess so.
We won't do anything through the rest of the year on Reactor Core.
Probably
it's up to you.
Unless there's some trailer that comes out.
Right. It's up to you if you want to reconvene Christmas weekend so we talk about Aquaman.
Probably not, but we'll see. Who knows? But that should be about it for housekeeping right now. So let's get back to the podcast. Get back to all of this stuff. We got some more movies to kind of come up with our scores for. Let me bring these back up on screen.
Let me
zoom in
run down the list of all of these. We went deep on movies of all genres, lots of sequels, and smaller movies, and anything we're familiar with that director and we're curious what they're gonna do.
Yeah, this is not an extensive list of every single movie that's out there.
But it's more extensive than we've done before. We're really trying to stretch out here. So running from December to December, we have The Boy and the Heron, Leave the World Behind, a new movie by Sam Esmail, creator of Mr. Robot, Poor Things, Wonka, Aquaman and the subtitle, Rebel Moon and its subtitle, The Iron Claw, Ferrari. Then next year, starting off with The Beekeeper, Argyle, Lisa Frankenstein, Madam Web, Drive Away Dolls, Dune Part 2, no subtitle there, Kung Fu Panda 4, don't know if that's got a subtitle, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Mickey 17, the new movie from Bong Joon-ho, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, Challengers, a new movie by Luca Guadagnino, director of Suspiria, The Fall Guy, If, in all capital letters because it stands for Imaginary Friends, Furiosa, Ballerina, The Watchers, a new horror movie from M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Ishana Shyamalan. Inside Out 2, A Quiet Place, Day 1, Despicable Me 4, Twisters, the sequel to Twister, Deadpool 3, Trap, the new movie from M. Night Shyamalan. I don't think we've ever had a family directorial team across a year before. That's new.
I don't think we have, yeah.
Borderlands, the movie based on the video game, Kraven the Hunter, Beetlejuice 2, Joker. Right. I wrote Kraven T. Hunter.
Yeah.
Like that's his full name, and Beetlejuice. So as dumb notes for us, try not to say those out loud. Joker, Folie à Deux, Smile 2, sequel to a horror movie, Venom 3, possibly subtitled The Last Dance. We don't know for sure. Gladiator 2, it's Denzel Washington this time. And Wicked Part 1. First part of the 2-movie adaptation of the Broadway play musical.
Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Real diverse mix here.
Back up to the top.
Phew.
Okay.
All right. The Boy
and the Heron.
And the Heron. I'm saying 93.
I'm going to go with an 89.
All right. I'm going to go see that in IMAX this weekend.
Ooh.
I never thought I'd get to see a Miyazaki movie in IMAX. I'm very excited. Next, Leave the World Behind from Sam Esmail. This is a Netflix movie. It'll be streaming, I think, by the end of the month, but it's getting a limited theatrical release. I'm really hoping I can catch that.
Cool.
Do you know anything about this movie? Did you watch the trailer?
I did a while back, but now I've completely forgotten what it's about.
Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke and their family get out of town. They go stay at some fancy house Airbnb for a weekend. And then in the middle of the night, Mahershala Ali and his daughter knock on the door and they're like, sorry, this is our house. There's some sort of emergency situation. We needed to come home. And they're saying that there's been like a cyber attack around the world. And the world is like maybe falling into chaos. And there's some question of there's some suspicion on the
someone has hacked Evil Corp and
right.
Chaos is happening.
You can definitely see how Sam Esmail got here, but it seems like kind of a psychological thriller. Like, who's telling the truth? What's really happening? I'm going to say an 84.
Oh, okay. I was close. I was going to say 86 on that one.
Next is Poor Things. Moved from our 2020. Moved from our. It's still 2023, but it got knocked back 2 months, enough to put it on an entirely separate year's list.
What did we have previously on?
Let's see. I think you said 75 and I said 69. For reference, for the other movies that got punted to next year, for Kraven the Hunter, you said 42 and I said 33. For Dune Part 2, you said 86 and I said 91. I think at this time, we are allowed to revise if we would like.
I think so. I'm not going to. I'm still going to put 75.
For Poor Things?
Yeah.
I have heard...
I don't know the like track record of that director. I know he does some like weird things, but I don't know.
When we added this to our list, this was a mid-year ad. We threw it on in June. You were very confident, and I'm like, I don't know. This looks like it's maybe too artsy and weird for a lot of fairly straight down the middle critics. But I gotta tell you, since then, its awards chances have been very promising.
Interesting.
I'm gonna hype this one up. I'm gonna give this one. People speak of it pretty highly. I'm gonna give it a 91.
Okay. Interesting. Did we have Wonka was not on the old list? No. Okay.
No, Wonka new. What's your guess for Wonka?
Dune. Whoops. Where am I going to go back here? 2024. My guess for Wonka. Oh man. I think early reviews have started coming out, and I've heard it's actually pretty decent. I feel like this is going to be another like mid 80s, so I'm going to go 84.
I'm going to say 86. Could beat that by a couple points. We'll see. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Is that the subtitle?
I believe so, yes.
I still have not seen the the original Aquaman. I missed it in theaters for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. And I've been interested in it. I've heard it's fun. And I'm like, when it is immediately relevant to me, I'm certain I will sit down and watch Aquaman. So I've got like a couple weeks left. I got to do it because I do want to see this new one in theaters just to sort of bid bon voyage to this era of DC.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did 2 years ago is when I watched it. It was around this time. It was like December-ish. And I was like, I'm like checking things off my list. Like, okay, I watched that. I still haven't seen that yet. And this was one that I put on while I was building a little Gundam model. And it was better than I expected, but still not great. And I have not been a fan of like the trailers for the new ones. However, I think Black Manta looks freaking sweet. So who knows? I think I'm gonna go low with this one, and I'm gonna say 67.
Man, how? Now I also have to pause on my Rotten Tomatoes.
Just be confident in what you think. Whatever those thoughts
I wasn't. I don't want to go full Moneyball with this, but I want to do a touch more research than I've done in the past. Here, if I put it in an incognito window, is it still bothering me? It says 65 for the original. I don't imagine we'll get there. I'll guess 59. 59.
Okay. 59.
Next
Rebel
is
Moon.
The first of the two Zack Snyder sci-fi epics going to Netflix. I think getting some sort of a limited theatrical window, maybe.
Yeah, I have fairly high hopes for these. I hope they do well. You know me, I'm a big sci-fi fan. I think Zack Snyder, as much as I didn't like his DC vision, all of that stuff, I think he does a great job with being stylistic. He has a vision for the way he wants things to look. Yeah. And I think he always does a great job with that.
Yeah, you might not like what he's doing, but he is doing a specific purposeful thing. And I do appreciate that. And I know this is like a whole Star Wars style original epic he's cooked up. No owls this time, I don't think. I'm going to guess 70.
Okay, I'm going to do an 83.
Okay. I hope it is that.
I have some high hopes with that one.
I would also like to see it do well. Next, The Iron Claw. Sad, foreboding wrestling biopic, The Iron Claw. I don't know anything about this. I've seen the trailer multiple times. It's a preposterous trailer. It's so funny to me that the trailer's so long and tells you so much.
Like the whole story, yeah.
Right. It's all there. You could just watch the movie and you could watch the trailer and essentially get it, but it still leaves me with a sense of mystery because I'm like, if he's just walking around with "In Memory of David" on the back of his jacket and you can clearly see it, there are so many more events hidden up this movie's sleeve. Not hidden. It is a true story. I could Google it if I wanted to, but I'm very hyped for The Iron Claw.
Oh man,
I'm going 89.
Ooh, okay. I'm not going anywhere near that high. I'm saying 76.
80. It feels spiritually true to have it be in the 80s. Now I'm looking at Wonka being an 86, and I'm like, I try and think about these in relation to each other. Like, I don't think Iron Claw is going to, which seems preposterous. Iron Claw will not do as good as Wonka. Wonka's become like a high watermark for us now.
I feel like, see, this is the hard thing is like, you have to think about what the critics will do and not just what general audiences. I'm just explaining, like, in general to whoever's out there.
It's my game. I know that.
I'm not explaining it to you.
The thing about critics is that they can come in so many different flavors. If you get 10 critics in a room and if you just get 10 folks in a room, there may not be that large of a difference. Critics are people just the way the rest of us are. And some of them like real weird artsy stuff, and some of them like sort of a straight down the middle Clint Eastwood drama. And this is a movie that I feel like could satisfy a variety of audiences if they're up for it. I may come back and finagle things later. But next we are on to Michael Mann's Ferrari, coming out on Christmas. Lots of sports movies where somebody dies this year. See them all. Does somebody die in The Boys in the Boat? I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? Ferrari. I don't know. Michael Mann usually does a real good job. People like his stuff. So I'm gonna say 88. Does that sound right?
Sure. I'm gonna go a little mild.
90 yet.
Yeah, you've been pretty mild. I'm gonna be a little bit milder on Ferrari. Just with like an 81, I think.
Okay.
Again, we start the new year with Jason Statham as the beekeeper.
I'll keep you bees.
I'm going to give this a rollicking 44.
A rollicking 44. Okay.
It looks dumb and fun. This looks akin to a plane. As a comparison point, what is the score for Plane?
I'll go 53.
Oh my God, Plane got a 78%. 94% audience love Plane. Next is Argyle. I imagine you're like me and you've seen the same Argyle trailer 12 times.
Yes.
We have not spoken any thoughts on the motion picture Argyle.
I lose interest every single time the trailer plays. My interest is just going downhill and downhill and downhill and downhill. I don't know. In the way he grabs her off the bike in that one scene in the trailer is so off-putting that I'm just like, this looks dumb. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fun for a lot of people, though.
I am 100% embarrassed to see it, but I am 100% going to see it as soon as I possibly can. Spy bullshit is my bullshit.
It really
I
is.
show up for this kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
What are my favorite movies? Mission Impossible Fallout, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. If you put Henry Cavill in a suit and have him punch people, you have my dollars. I'll go.
I'm going to do 72 for that one.
It's tricky because I think the trailer is obnoxious, saying it's from the twisted mind of Matthew Vaughn, and they play Let's Dance while the characters dance, and it's not even an instrumental part of the song. They're like, people won't get it if they don't hear David Bowie say Let's Dance. Start the song there. I get anxious whenever a trailer has got 2 or more songs in it.
Yeah. If they have time to do that many songs, right? Maybe it's a little long. Who knows?
It displays a lack of focus that makes me nervous, but I'm also well aware that a film and its marketing can be quite divergent things. I don't think I'm that far off from you, though. I'm going to say a sexual 69.
Ooh, nice.
Next is Lisa Frankenstein An interesting little movie coming out just in time for Valentine's Day, written by Diablo Cody, directed by Zelda Williams, daughter of Robin Williams.
Yeah. We saw the trailer for this when we went to go see The Holdovers, and I could tell that, like, when they flashed her name up on screen, it was either real quick or no one, like my partner didn't catch it. But once I saw that, I was like, that's Robin Williams' daughter who's directing this. She was like, oh, that's neat. That's cool. So I don't know if this will be my cup of tea, but I would kind of like to see what she does with this.
Yeah. It looks stylistic, looks fun. It's about a girl in the 80s who Frankensteins up a boy corpse to be your boyfriend.
Like one does.
Yeah. Let's say a plain old 80.
Okay. I'm going to go with a 76.
Next is Madame Web.
Oh,
it's
man.
wild to me that in this run, we've got one DC movie, 2 if you count the new Joker movie, 1 Marvel movie, 3 Sony Pictures Spider-Man movies with Madame Web, Kraven T. Hunter, and Venom 3.
Yeah.
What a weird year.
I'm going to go with a 41. I don't think this is going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a wreck.
Thinking about... Here's my question, though. I'm trying to think of those 3 movies in relation to each other. Which of the 3 of them will do the best?
Probably Venom.
Maybe. I liked Let There Be Carnage, but most people didn't. I feel like Kraven's at the bottom. I watched the trailer for Kraven. I'm like, this really isn't doing anything for me. I'm not excited. Yeah. Will I see it? Probably. I never saw Morbius, though. Gotta get
bored.
I know I must. I gotta catch up on these things. I feel like for as much as I am into superhero movies, I'm like, I should see them all.
For the fact that you liked Let There Be Carnage so much, you need to go see Morbius.
I'm gonna say a 45 on Madame Web.
Yeah, not feeling that one. Up next, Drive Away Dolls on February 23rd. This is the Coen. Which one is writing it? It's one of them. Right?
I don't remember, but it is one of them.
Only the Coen siblings.
A crime movie from a single Coen.
Yeah.
This was supposed to come out earlier this year. It's had posters in lobbies for a long time. I saw the trailer for this a couple months ago. And then after it got rescheduled post strikes, they just played the same trailer again months after I had seen it before. Last time I was at the movies.
I am interested in this one. I think it will be pretty good. I'm going to go 88.
I'll try a more mild 78.
Okay. Let's see here.
Next, Dune.
Ooh, yeah.
Part 2.
Dune Part 2.
I had this at 91 before. Yeah.
Yeah, what did we have? Dune Part 2. Yeah, you had a 91. I had an 86. I definitely think that might be a little low. So yeah, I will put I'll put a 93.
So there's a third one after this, right? This is not the end of Dune. This is middle Dune.
I don't know if it's confirmed yet. I think originally it was planned to only be 2. But I don't know if that still holds up.
I'll stick with my 91.
Okay.
Next, Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah. Look, I went to go see the first Kung Fu Panda in theaters. I don't remember how long ago. And I think I just I liked it well enough at the time, and then was like, well, they're probably not going to make any more of these. And then I think they made a second one that I thought was like straight to DVD or something.
No, they made 2 more movies and then I think a series.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, is like, I just kind of tuned out of this being like, this is gonna be like another one of those like DreamWorks Pixar style animated movies that the first one is out in theaters, and then if they make more of them, it'll be a straight to streaming thing. And no, apparently Kung Fu Panda does gangbusters. And has the entire time.
I
didn't know.
I saw the first 2. They are very charming. They're sweet. They have good action scenes. They look very good. My older brother, these movies were coming out when like my nephew was still a little kid. So my older brother had to see all of these movies. And as an adult, the Kung Fu Panda series was one of his favorites. He'd always take a Kung Fu Panda over a lot of other family films.
Yep. Kung Fu Panda. This will probably do pretty good, I'm assuming. What about an 86? How does that sound? Does that sound right?
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
A little milder with a 79. For me, I'm like, anything close to or above 80 is truly
True.
Next is
Frozen Empire. March 29th.
It's cold now.
Yeah. Hell has frozen over. The ghosts are cold. They need a blanket.
Snuggy ghosts this spring.
Let's see. This one, I don't remember how Afterlife did. But I'm going to put this one kind of in the 70s, like lower mid 70s with a 74.
I'll go 67.
Okay.
Afterlife is a movie where I feel like there were some, I don't know. I know some hardcore Ghostbusters fans who really liked it, and some sort of general audiences who were less warm on it. And I don't know if people left that movie thinking they gotta do another one of these.
Yeah. Who knows?
Next.
Yeah, I'm excited for this next one.
This is Mickey 17. This is the new movie by Bong Joon-ho, Oscar-winning director of Parasite. This stars Robert Pattinson as a clone who is working on terraforming or otherwise setting up for human life, some planet or moon or something. And because it's an environment so inhospitable to people, they just keep sending clones up there. They're like, he's not really a real guy. He can work in these harsh conditions. It's fine. And I think there's only ever supposed to be one at a time. Like, you use one, it's disposable, then they send up Mickey 18 or whatever. But I think there's some error and he does encounter another one of himself.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, that'll be a great one. I'm super stoked for that. I'm going to rate this one pretty high.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 91.
I said 92.
Ooh, yeah.
Next, okay. Godzilla X Kong, the new. Do you want your empires new? Do you want your empires frozen? 2024 has it for you.
Oh man, this is another franchise that I don't know anything about. I haven't watched all the Godzilla Kong stuff.
I saw Kong Skull Island and then the Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever punctuation goes in Godzilla, comma, Kong. ... It's fine.
I'm gonna go with a 73.
56. You're at 54 in honor of Godzilla's birth year.
Ooh, okay.
Which is still like
interesting,
middling to fine. Dumb. Yeah. We're in dumb fun territory here, I think, with something in the 50s. You know what I have heard is good, though? That Monarch Legacy of Monsters show on Apple TV Plus. I've heard it's actually pretty solid. The spin-off show
made by Matt Fraction, who wrote Sex Criminals that we covered on the review show, who's married to Kelly Sue DeConnick, who is a famous writer for Captain Marvel.
We also did on the review show.
He also wrote the Hawkeye comics that the Hawkeye show was based off of. I've heard very good things about that show.
His family invented putting one number over another number to divide it.
Yep, they sure did.
Next is Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. I know the first part of Rebel Moon also has a subtitle. I forgot to write that one down. We're in untread territory here, guessing the score to a sequel that also, where the original movie itself has also not come out yet. We are in the dark with both of these Rebel Moons.
What did I say for the first one?
You said 83 and I said 70. I'm just going to duplicate my score. I have nothing to go off of whether the thing is going to amp up or slow down here.
I'm going to say it's 79.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little bit lower. I think it'll be all set up, and I don't know if it will pay off as epically as he's hoping. I hope it does.
Right. Or maybe it could start off slow, but then be totally in gear for the second part. We're clueless.
Who knows?
Zach, tell us. Did you know the movie Challengers before I wrote it down?
Not at all. No.
Okay. Challengers is the new movie by Luca Guadagnino, whose directorial credits include our beloved remake of Suspiria. So that's why I threw it on here. This movie was supposed to come out this year. Like, it was supposed to be a fall, winter 2023 release. It was one of the first things that was delayed after the actors' strike, pushed all the way to April 26th. And this is the movie where all of my film nerd podcasts were like, no, Challengers. I'm like, what's Challengers? I thought it was about like the space shuttle or something. Right. No, what Challengers is, it's a sexy tennis movie.
Ooh.
Zendaya is a tennis. She's a tennis champion. And I think after an injury, she stepped back and mostly became a coach to her husband, who is also a tennis champion. And then he hits a losing streak, and to sort of shake him out of it, she puts him in a competition against her ex-boyfriend, who is also his ex-best friend. And I think it's a sultry love triangle.
Ooh.
It's a nice trailer. Trailer did a good job getting me excited for this thing.
Huh. Interesting. Challengers.
So I'm going to go high on this one. I'm going to go with a 90 for Challengers.
Okay. I'm going to go with 79. I'll go on the low side just because I don't know a thing about this one, and I'm going to be a little contrarian.
Okay. Next,
Fall Guy.
This stars Ryan Gosling as a stunt performer who has to rescue the actual movie star who he's the stunt double for. So now he's done stunts on movie sets, but now he has to truly be do action in real life without traditional movie set precautions, and try and win back his ex-girlfriend, director Emily Blunt. This is based off an old TV show from the 70s or 80s.
Okay. I did not know that. I have seen the trailer for this one. It
looks fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. Just like the big, dumb, fun action. I don't know. I'm going to go with a 73.
I'm going to go with, I think this will do middlingly well. Let's do like an 85. Next is next is an odd one. This movie is called If Imaginary Friends. I don't know if it's formally like there's a parentheses or a colon or whatever, but this is a movie directed by John Krasinski, starring Ryan Reynolds and many others, about, I think, a little girl who gains the ability to see other people's abandoned imaginary friends.
I don't know if it's look this one up because I didn't know what this was.
Right. I don't know if it's animated or like animation live action hybrid. I really wasn't sure. But I'm like, this seems like it could be of note when it comes out. So let's see what we can figure out about it now.
Yeah. Krasinski seems to have an okay track record.
Yeah.
I think I'd still put this maybe somewhere high 70s. I'm gonna go with a 78.
I'm gonna go 73. I just feel like it's similar enough to Inside Out. We've got an Inside Out sequel this year. There's also another movie, a horror movie about like a killer imaginary friend earlier on in the year. I think that's just called Imaginary. So I think people might be kind of tired of things in this space.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
Next, the long-awaited Furiosa.
Yeah. I have never seen any of the Mad Max stuff.
Oh, not Fury Road. I've only seen Fury Road. I saw it once, and I felt sort of overwhelmed and disjointed. I need to see it again, especially now that I know the Tenet maxim of don't try to understand it, just feel it.
Sure, yeah.
So certainly we will see like a big screen maybe not a formal re-release, but like your local Alamo Drafthouse at least will play Fury Road next year. So theater's the way to see it. Check it out if you can.
Yeah, I know people are super excited about this one. I know the trailer came out just a couple days ago. Everyone was stoked. I feel like this one will do pretty damn good, especially because Fury Road is highly regarded. I'm gonna
put down a 92.
I was gonna go 91.
Okay. Next is Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Ana de Armas plays a ballerina assassin, like you saw Angelica Houston training in Parabellum.
Yes, indeed. I don't think this will be as good as the regular series.
John Wick Chapter 4 still got that 94.
Yeah.
I don't think... So we're still looking at something probably fairly high. Yeah. I'll say an 84.
I was going to go 87.
Okay. Next, The Watchers. This is a movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Ishana Shyamalan, who I think did like second unit stuff on Old, and I think was a producer and director of some episodes of Servant.
Okay.
The premise of this movie is that Dakota Fanning, let me read you what it actually says.
Yes, please. I'm interested to know what she's up to.
The Watchers follows Mina, a 28-year-old artist, as she gets stranded in an extensive, immaculate forest in Western Ireland. After finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside 3 strangers, stalked by mysterious creatures each night.
Okay. Creature feature. Stalkers. Watchers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm gonna go kind of middling. I'm gonna say 70.
Okay, I'll go 80. This seems like a neat premise.
Yeah, I hope she finds success, but I also hope that she has also learned like all the mistakes that her father has made, right? And so that she knows just to like, hey, if you're gonna be like making your own weird bullshit, just stick with that. Just do your thing.
Live your here. Weird bullshit.
Yeah, right? don't go make the like big studio thing where they want you to like, but make it with a twist, right? And then he always has to be the guy that has a twist in all his movies, right? And then hopefully she can run free.
Do her own mysterious creatures in some woods movies after The Village.
Yeah, indeed.
Next, Inside Out 2. Riley's older. She's got a new emotion. It's orange.
Do we remember what the first one did? What its score was? Do we want to look up that?
It did.
Let's see here.
I will look it up. I think it did very well.
Yeah.
98%.
Oh, wow. That is not the right Inside Out that I'm looking at.
I'm going to go for an 88.
I cannot spell. Oh my God. Okay. Screw that. If you're going to go for an 88, I'm going to go for an 85.
Next, A Quiet Place Day 1. Have you seen any of The Quiet Places?
I have not.
I saw the first one. I saw it in a theater. If you can catch a showing in a theater, a re-release, I recommend it. It is a good theater movie. It's always a wild experience when you're in an entire movie theater that has gone silent. Yeah. Those moments are very precious to me. It's good. It is stressful. I haven't watched it again, and I haven't seen the sequel, but I heard good things about it.
Yeah.
I'll have to get to it. I think next year I might catch up on that sequel and then go see Day 1.
I stayed away because it looked more like a horror movie to me, and
it is.
I don't like
it is
horror stuff. So I was like, no, thank you. I will go to a loud place, watch an action movie.
I'll say a 76. We're changing directors. It's not Krasinski anymore.
Oh, okay.
This is a very
low then. I'm gonna go with a 64.
I haven't, without having seen that sequel, and this is a prequel now. This is like the day those aliens who hear too hard arrive on Earth, I guess. I think some of the fun of the first one was seeing how this family deals with the challenge of having to be silent. Like one of the earliest scenes in the movie is that the family it's after dinner, they're relaxing, and the kids are playing Monopoly, but they've had to replace all the hard plastic pieces with just like little pom-pom balls and like scraps of fabric because they truly cannot make the click of you moving your Scotty dog to Park Place. Yeah. So let's sort of puzzle solving and it's seeing like the world that's been lived in where they've figured out some of those problems.
True.
Is kind of was one of the aspects of it I enjoyed the most. So if we're taking it back to Day 1, I don't know if the things I like the most will be there as much. Oh, perhaps this is a score I will revise at mid-year. We'll see. Despicable Me 4. I've been thinking that all the Despicable Me and Minions movies do well. They're popular. People like them. But I've not heard very much about the differences between them. Like, if you ask me which is the best one and which is the worst one, I'm like, I don't know. Nobody talks about them in that regard. They just are. They are minions. They must happen. It doesn't matter if they're good.
They just
minions.
Randomly spawn.
Right. Minions and Despicable Me exceeds conceptions of good and bad. I really have no idea how any of these movies have been doing. So I'll say,
good Lord,
67.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah. I'm gonna go with a flat 60.
Time is a flat 60.
Twisters is up next.
Twisters! Now there is
right
more
around
than one
from where I live.
Oh, cool. Yeah. The original set in Oklahoma. I love that the sequel is just called Twisters. I love that they're going.
They've been filming the sequel right around the corner from where I live. They were filming bits of it like when I moved in.
Oh, cool.
And then even up through when the strike happened, I think they were still filming a few things, and then had to stop or something like that. But yeah, if we had known it was happening on certain weekends, we probably would have tried to go see if we could see the set or who's down there and get some pictures. But we have not made that happen. So
we watched the original Twister on the review show to honor you moving to Oklahoma. It feels like things have come full circle. I love that movie. I didn't see it until I was an adult, but I have great fun. I have great fun with it. I love that the sequel is just called Twisters, like aliens.
Just what if there movie.
What if there was plural? That really works for this. One tornado, multiple tornadoes, immediate escalation. I think it's kind of an evergreen thing, like a weather disaster, that feels sort of outside of time. It does feel like a source of threat you can go to at any time.
Disaster movies.
And this is being directed by Lee Isaac Chung, who directed the Oscar-nominated movie Minari.
Yeah,
he's got real prestige to him. And I heard that he wanted to direct this because he grew up in Arkansas in a tornado-prone area. And he has a personal attachment to the topic.
Yeah.
So I think having a prestige director who specifically wanted to go in and do this sequel to kind of a schlocky 90s blockbuster, he wouldn't do it if he didn't really want to. So I have... Who have we got in this? Glenn Powell's very charming. Kiernan Shipka, David Corenswet. So Superman's here.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go fairly high. Let's see. I'm gonna go like an 86. High for Twisters.
Oh, man, that was exactly what I was gonna.
It could exceed me. You know what? I'll go higher. I'll go higher then. I'll go 87. Okay. Just so we've got 1 point to break.
I'll do my 86 then. And then Skullpoople 3, Deadpool 3. Apparently there's been some leaks, some set photos that Ryan Reynolds had to be like, hey guys, let's stop with the spoilers. Let's not do that. Deadpool 3. I don't remember what the other two got, but I know they're pretty well liked.
I just looked him up. The original one, 85. Deadpool 2, 84. Very consistent. Yeah. I think that is true.
I'm gonna say now that this has kind of been brought under the Disney banner, this one's gonna get bumped up a little bit. I think it'll get a little Disney bump. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go with an 88.
I'll go just a hair on the other side to an 84. Just because I know this movie has to do a lot of things. It has a lot of pressure on it. It might rise to that occasion, or it might come being the only movie of its kind next year, like the only MCU movie, having to have the weight of like bringing all these multiverses together. It might just come under extra scrutiny. Sure, being an R-rated movie now being released under the Disney banner, that too. So just a couple points shy. Next, we have M. Night Shyamalan's new movie, Trap, releasing August 2nd. Let's see. There is no plot synopsis for this yet. It stars Josh Hartnett.
Okay.
These are our facts.
There you go.
Other actors I don't know are credited on IMDb as FBI agent, SWAT member, and concert goer.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. Let's do. What did we get? Let's do it. Let's do an 80.
This really could be anything. All right. What did Knock at the Cabin? Critically, it did a 67, but I think you said audience was a little higher. I'll go slightly milder with like a 75.
Okay.
Not much to go off, but Knight is my guy. I always show up for Knight. I always think he's doing something interesting and worth seeing.
Indeed. Borderlands is up next, coming out on August 9th. This is based off the video games.
Now, I know the name Borderlands, but I realize I have no idea what Borderlands contains. Can you give me a quick log line, please?
To be honest, I have not played much of them. I tried to play the first one, was not a huge fan, and so I just kind of skipped out on it. It is a first-person shooter that is one of the interesting things that happens in it is you can just get all kinds of guns and just millions of them, hundreds of them, all different kinds. And the humor is fairly crude, if I remember correctly. But it is known to have some fairly memorable story. There's a few characters in there that I know people are very fond of. This has been a movie that I know has been in the works for a while. And it's just another one of those things of just like, oh yeah, they're making a Borderlands movie, huh? And they keep insisting that they're working on it. Okay, cool. So yeah, I am like weirdly excited for this to come out just because I kind of just want it to be out and be like, finally, it's out, it's over. But yeah, there's not much that I can really tell you. I don't know too much. I know people really like these games, and they've done a spin-off recently called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that was also pretty popular. So I don't know. I think it'll be kind of an irreverent, crude action comedy thing, but I don't remember who's involved in it. If there's like what actors are attached or who's directing it.
I saw Kate Blanchett and Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm like, you have 2 Oscar winners in Borderlands.
Sure, why not? There it is, Borderlands, folks. I don't know. I don't think this is gonna do great. I'm gonna go with a 69.
I'm also going with a 69. I think this is gonna do one Is this gonna be do more or less than Argyle? This is the question. I'm gonna say less. I'll go with 67.
Okay.
One of us has to move.
Okay. And then next is Kraven the Hunter, August 30th.
We originally had this, you at 42, me at 33. I'll stick with that.
I'm going to stick with that too then.
I don't have high hopes for this movie, but I do also wonder if punting it back another year is going to be beneficial.
I don't think so, to be honest.
Oh, maybe they can fix something in the editing room. I don't, who even knows what there is specifically to fix? Like, I really don't. A buff lion bleeds on him and then he gets animal powers and he's like, I'm going to kill Russell Crowe.
Sony just doesn't seem to be on top of their game with anything Marvel unless it's animated.
But I do also acknowledge that is the widely held consensus. And if that's what they've been hearing for a while, at some point, there has to be a pivot. There has to be an adjustment. And I wonder if at some point this year we will see the adjustment. I just don't know in what movie it will come.
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully. I would love to see them do really well, but we shall see. We shall see.
Beetlejuice 2.
Beetlejuice. There you go. Now we've said it 3 times. Yeah. I mean, the first one is a fan favorite. I don't know that you needed to make a second one.
It has been something that has been talked about like since 1990.
Sure.
It is something people have wanted to do for a long time. I think that gives it slightly more credence that it has finally gotten off the ground. I'll say like a 72.
I'm gonna go with see 69
I'll probably have fun. Have you seen Joker? I haven't seen Joker yet. It seemed like it was so odd that the movie was like very highly regarded, but also seemed like such a hot button topic. I'm like, am I supposed to watch it or not?
Yeah, it felt like in terms of it being a movie, it was really well made, really well acted, all that stuff. But like, why did we need this kind of story? Is what a lot of people came back with.
I wanted to get Joaquin Phoenix that Oscar, I guess.
But then this one is also a musical.
I don't know if anything
musical numbers.
I don't know if anything is officially confirmed. It is outright a musical. Okay,
pretty sure they have.
Hold on. So Lady Gaga was cast as Harley Quinn. I think people have extrapolated. Surely she must be singing. And maybe they confirmed a number, but I don't know if they've confirmed multiple numbers.
I'm not sure.
Brendan Gleeson is in it, and people think he's going to play the Penguin, and that's what I'm here for. I will watch Joker. I will go see this to see Brendan Gleeson be a Penguin.
I'm going to say 78.
What did the original Joker the First do exactly?
I feel like it did higher than that.
Oh, certainly. Oh, no, it did 69.
Oh. Well, then I might be wrong then here.
Interesting. Oh,
I might
you
be
said
wrong.
78?
Yeah.
I'll go a smidge. I'll say like an 81. This seems odd. This seems stranger than the original one. And people may like the strangeness of it. Like, wow, you really went for something here.
They did. Swung for the fences.
Smile 2. Do you know Smile?
I've heard the name, but that's it.
I know the concept of smiling. Yes. There's a sequel to that. There's now Extra Smile.
Yep.
Double Smile.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your dentist today about getting installed with the ability to smile too. New Smile on the market. Smile is a horror movie from late last year, I think, about this like mimetic, almost Joker-like intense smile. Like we have this woman who is a clinical psychologist, I think, and she's a patient who comes in with maybe like self-harm issues, and she has this maniacal smile on her face, and she's talking about how like she'd seen somebody die. It like passes along. Like if you have seen somebody die, you catch the smile. It's got this sort of recurring you will be cursed sense of like The Ring or It Follows. And like if you kill somebody else, then like you don't catch the smile.
Right, yeah. Okay, interesting.
It's simpler than I'm making it sound. I just don't remember it very well. But the movie is very effective. It's got the horror elements are sparing, but they are very intense, very effective. Like this woman works at the hospital. Cal Penn is like the chief of her section or whatever. And she's kind of having a breakdown. She's not sure what's real. She's hallucinating something. And at one point, she's like in the office with a patient. The patient starts behaving violently or whatever. And then Cal Penn rushes in and you think this is all really happening. And Cal Penn is there as like the chief of staff or whatever to like berate her or help her or whatever. No, instead he just like peels his face open and screams. And you're like, okay, this is a dream. I don't think Cal Penn's really peeling his face open and screaming. It's got some cool, I say this all to say it is really fun for me. Like surprising gut punch. Oh, this is what we're doing. Yeah. Like it's kind of a slower, quieter movie, but that means when it goes for shock value, it's done. It's really effective. I think it's done well. It's not a fun one. I don't know if I wouldn't recommend Smile to everybody. I think it's very good, but it is a more pensive, sad horror movie. People took to it well. People were like, "Oh, Smile's pretty good." You said 76.
Yes,
that's go.
What I went with.
Maybe like a 70.
Okay.
Again, it's not a movie I really want to rewatch, but I might watch like a recap of it or something again to refresh my memory. I don't remember what happens except for Cal Penn peels his face open.
This brings us to Venom 3 coming out on November 8th. I don't know. I feel like this is gonna kind of be right in that same mark. I might, no. Let me do a lower 70. Let me do a 72. How does that sound?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Let There Be Carnage was so bad, though. Venom,
the original, got a 30. Let's see. 30 from critics, but 80 from audience. It's not immediately pulling up the sequel for me, but I imagine it did less well on both regards. So you're saying a 46 for Venom 3. Looking at the other Sony movies, this had 45 for Madam Web, 33 for Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, wow. 57 for Let There Be Carnage, which I did. I think those should almost be switched. The first one should be that like 57. The second one should be the 30 something. But
I gotta watch that movie again. I watched it at the drive-thru. the drive-in. I think I just have a great time at a drive-in. That might be something that just adds a couple points to my evaluation of any movie. But also,
put it this way, I liked Morbius better than I liked Venom 2. And I still did not like Morbius.
Venom 3. I'm going to say it's going to be in... I had Madam Web at a 45. Venom, I will put slightly higher at like a 48.
Okay. Fair enough. Gladiator 2, Denzel Boogaloo. Coming out November 22nd.
Well, Napoleon ended up getting a 59. It'll probably be better than Napoleon, being that this is a fictional story and it doesn't have to deal with the wide-ranging life events of a real historical figure, so it can be a bit more direct.
Yeah. If Denzel is signing on, I feel like it'll at least be pretty solid. I'm going to go with a 79.
Yeah, let's say like 84. Good enough. And then we're closing out the year with Wicked Part 1, an adaptation of the first act of the Broadway musical. This has been much anticipated. People have been wanting to see a film adaptation of Wicked for quite some time.
Wicked. I don't know. This is one that, I mean, I've seen The Wizard of Oz, but I've never seen Wicked. So I don't really have much context for this one. Do we know who's signed on to direct?
Oh, it is a person of note. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. Hold on. Oh, it is directed by John M. Chu, who directed, hold on. Show me the director credits, IMDb. Director. No, hold on. Let's see. He's got In the Heights.
Okay.
Crazy
People really
Rich
like
Asians.
That. People like that.
The Jim and the Holograms movie, G.I. Joe Retaliation. And it looks like he maybe has a background in music videos, some of the Step Up movies.
Okay. Sounds like he knows what he's doing then.
Right. People liked In the Heights. People liked Crazy Rich Asians.
I'll go with the low 80s. I'll do an 83.
Okay. I'll go a little higher with an 87. Musicals are tricky because I feel like they really work or they really don't. There are not a lot of middling musicals.
Or they work on stage, but then don't work in film, really, or vice versa. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Let me see if maybe I can nudge some stuff around. This seems mean. I'm going to take Craven down a couple points to like a 28. Not that it matters that much. Okay, let's see.
There we go.
What is currently my highest number? What is my spread looking like? I feel like I had a decent amount of stuff that's like in the 80s. There's stuff I'm optimistic about. Let's see. In my 90s, I've got Boy and the Heron at 91, at 93, Poor Things at 91. Oh, I wanted to revisit Aquaman. Wonka.
I am starting to type out one of my predictions.
Seeing it, yeah.
One of our favorite movies of the year is not in our initial group. I think there will be something that will like be announced later on or be skipped over that we end up saying that's like, oh, that was one of the best ones of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We could potentially add it on later on, but it's not here in these like 39 that we did.
I'm looking at my scores. My high scores are still, I typically don't go higher than like a 93. But up there I have The Boy and the Heron, Furiosa, Mickey 17. I'm comfortable with those being my upper echelon of titles. My predictions. Let's see. My needle drop of the year, Cold as Ice.
Cold as ice.
As cold as ice. I mean, we've got Frozen Empire. Maybe this will play for Lisa Frankenstein as she attempts to resurrect a dead boy.
How do you spell their last name? The Shyamalans.
It's written here on the sheet. It's there in front of you.
That's what I'm looking for now. Shyamalan. The Shyamalan's combined score will beat Sony's Marvel combined score.
I think that's a great prediction. I'm guessing that there will be multiple acting nominations at the Oscars for Poor Things.
Okay.
At least 2. I am guessing. So the one trailer for Argyle has promised that there is some sort of twist, which is so puzzling. I don't think movies have really had marketing, especially this far out. Not like the teaser that comes out like 10 days before the movie drops, but the trailer that's months in advance being like, "Ooh, there's a secret. Don't let the cat out of the bag. Don't tell anybody. Who's the real Argyle?" Like, so the more I see the trailer, the more I stare at it in an attempt to solve the mystery. Like, are there clues in front of me? Am I supposed to read into anything that's happening in front of me?
Are you trying to make me think that the cat is Argyle?
This is what I'm wondering. Like, is it a cat? I'm going to guess Argyle is a woman. Okay. There are conspiracy theories out there that Argyle is Taylor Swift. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think Argyle is a woman. I'm hoping it's just a second Bryce Dallas Howard. I think that's fun. There's just 2 of her.
I'm also going to say I think Mickey 17 is going to get a Best Picture nomination.
Good.
Will we have that info this time next year? Right?
No. You can only make Oscar nominations for movies coming out through the end of the year. So only The Boy and the Heron through Ferrari. Everything else.
I gotcha. Yeah. No. Damn.
You can save that for next year if you want.
Yeah. Let's see.
In the meantime, I am guessing that Deadpool 3 will have an appearance from Channing Tatum's Gambit.
Okay, that's a good one.
I think that after Ryan Reynolds' battle to get Deadpool made, he may have sympathy for somebody else who really tried to get their own superhero project off the ground.
Okay, then I'll do a Deadpool 3 cameo prediction. From... Do we do Chris Evans? Fantastic Four? I think that's a pretty good one.
I considered that. I think that I support you.
What other have we done other X-Men stuff? What other good X-Men stuff could we do? I don't know. Yeah, let's do Chris Evans. Chris Evans as Johnny Storm.
So for my next prediction, is there a quota we have to meet? I think I've got 4.
No, predictions. We don't have to meet any certain quota.
With my needle pop, I'll have 5. I'll have 5. Okay. There are some movies we did not mention, because this is kind of out of our wheelhouse, and the list was long enough. Next year, there are going to be 2 movies released. Part 1 in June and part 2 in August, called Horizon, an American Saga. And this is some Western epic from Kevin Costner. I haven't watched Yellowstone, but it seems really in the vein of Yellowstone.
Sure.
These are seems like theatrically released movies. Part 1 and part 2 in a summer. I mean, we've got like both parts of Rebel Moon coming out within several months of each other. There have been other 2-part movies like from Dune to The Matrix. But this is a quicker turnaround than you traditionally see, bookending either end of the same summer. And it's a genre that doesn't get into the theater as often. And I know older generations don't go to a lot of movies. My dad has not been to a movie in years. And I know the box office is the worst for it. Right. I think this has a big enough audience, a big, quiet audience that is going to show up. My guess is that at the end of the summer, both Horizon movies are in the top 10 box office.
Okay.
I looked at the summer. It seems quiet enough that is feasible to happen.
Let's see. I want at least one more. Can I make a prediction about Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice 2 is going to have an end credits scene.
Oh, okay.
End credits.
A post-credit scene?
Yeah. That hints at a third one.
Okay.
Because obviously you're supposed to say his name 3 times. There has to be a third Beetlejuice.
Good thinking.
So yeah, those ones are mine. Those are my 4 predictions. Let me scoot this over a little bit. So, no, what did I do? How do I see all those? I can't. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. My predictions are one of our favorite movies of the year is not in our initial group. The Shyamalan's combined score will beat Sony's Marvel combined score. Deadpool 3 cameo Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. Beetlejuice 2 will have an end credits scene that hints at a third.
And mine are Needle Drop of the Year, Cold as Ice. Multiple acting nominations at the Oscars for Poor Things. That is something we can find out in the next couple months. The real Agent Argyle is a woman. Deadpool 3 will feature Channing Tatum. Right, they're letting women be Argyles now.
A woman in a movie? Unheard of.
A boy and his father are in an accident. They bring the boy and the father into the hospital and ask the doctor to operate on them. And the doctor says, I can't operate on this boy. He is my son. How can this happen? Argyle is a woman. Find and replace Doctor with Argyle. And that both of the Kevin Costner American Horizon movies will be in the top 10 box office for the summer, not the year as a whole. The summer being the period from Memorial Day through Labor Day.
Okay. Good stuff. I think we are all set, all done.
We're all movied out. This has been a long one.
This has been a long one. We've
Let's
been
go
recording
to
for
sleep.
just over 2 hours. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. So yes, we will check in on this a couple times throughout next year as new movies get announced. We can add them to the list and so on and so forth. And then yeah, next December is when we will do our final check-in on this and see what all these final scores are. So there you go. We hope you guys enjoyed that one. Hope you, I don't know if you guys play along at home with this one with us. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, we hope you all enjoyed it. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
I have a quiet little letterbox, hoping to add more on there. You can find me at WilkyWit. That's WILKYWIT.
There you go. And if you guys want to follow me, I am at Kyle Springer on social media. And if you guys would like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at The Whatnauts, we are at The Whatnauts on most social media places. But yeah, please go like, share, and subscribe. That would help us out a ton. If you're watching this on YouTube, go check out more of our videos right over there. That would help us out a ton as well. And yeah, this has been number 261 of the Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.